Hey, what's up, fantasy people? Week 2 is almost in the books, and I've got a ton of players, even ones that you should spend half of your fab on, a wide receiver and a running back, for waiver wires week 3. Okay, so you can still save your season. 0-2, who cares, man? There are still league winners on the waiver wire. We just need to find them. First up, Bayshell Tootin, 40% owned, man. This is all the running backs so far. I'd spend half of my fab on him, man, $50. Not very often is there a rookie running back coming up with a new coach in a system that favors running backs, okay? And I love this guy's combine. I think it was the 3-cone drill and other things like that that directly correlates to fantasy football success. We're off the charts, man. So I love Bayshell Tootin. I was worried about his pass protection, but that does not seem to be an issue. 8 rushes for 42 yards, 2 receptions for 32 yards and a touchdown. ETN did not blow up like he did last week. He had a 33% running back rushing share. He's a 4th-round rookie. Again, so high upside, and already in week 2, man, he is being starting worthy. Home versus Houston, week 3. I do not like that matchup with Houston's linebackers, but still, dude, in a Liam Cohen offense, it's all about catching passes and the volume to running backs. So spend all your money you can on Bayshell Tootin. Next up, man, Blake Corum. I had to text Jason, man, the guy I do the show with, and was like, what's going on with Kyren Williams? Apparently nothing. They were just giving him some rest, apparently, but he got more work, Blake Corum, than he has in a long time when Kyren Williams is healthy. 5.3% rostered. I'd spend $7 on him. 5 rushes for 44 yards, way more efficient, twice as efficient as Kyren Williams, and he got the touchdown. 23% running back rushing share. Dude, it is usually like 90% or 95% to Kyren Williams, so that is huge right there. He is a handcuff, 3rd-round draft pick in 2024, so he has a draft capital going for him. And I forgot to write where they were next week. Next up, man, Jeremy McNichols. Eckler is out for the rest of the season with the torn Achilles. Bill is the guy that you want to own. But as far as that Eckler role, that 3rd down pass catching back, Jeremy McNichols should be that guy. $5 if you're in full PPR. Maybe a flex moving forward. Wide receivers, man. This guy was on my hype train list, I think, if I remember correctly. I remember reading a lot about Cam Ward and how he was loving the 4th-round rookie that he came into the league with, Alec Amanor, all right? So 7.8% rostered. You can go get him anywhere. Dude, I spent $25 on him, man. 4 receptions on 6 targets. He's being just as targeted as Calvin Ridley, who we all spent up on in the draft, for 56 yards and got that touchdown, man. 19.4% target share. He had 6 targets in week 1 versus Denver. Again, a rookie, so we're looking for that upside, especially in the second half of the season. Home versus Indianapolis, week 3. Give him to me. He's my top wide receiver pickup. Wan'Dale Robinson. Okay, let me see if I can move this down just a second. But this guy was on my waiver wire list last year about 10 times, okay? Let's see, 29.9% rostered. So, 1 out of every 3 leagues he has taken pretty much. $7 I spent on him because I do not know who's going to be quarterback. I mean, they're probably going to stay with Russell Wilson after this, correct? But again, man, it's game script dependent, and they're going to be home versus Kansas City. Kansas City has good cornerbacks. I mean, it didn't show up last week, but again, it's not a great matchup next week. But he had 10 targets for 142 yards and a touchdown, man. A 26% target share with Russell Wilson throwing the hell out of the ball. And that defense is not stopping anybody right now. 8 targets week 1, dude. So PPR, Wan'Dale Robinson, super high floor as your flex. Marvin Mims, I just started watching that game. Caught the first touchdown when nobody else even had like a target, dude. Only 4 targets and 4 yards week 1 versus Tennessee, and that Tennessee's got a pretty good pass defense. I say that, and they just got blown up by Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. But still, man, like L'Jarius Sneed and stuff. Peyton traded up to the 2nd round to draft Mims a couple of years ago, so Peyton Manning loved this guy. This guy was like a top 10 wide receiver in the last like 5 games of the season last year. He was everybody's dark horse to begin the season with, and now he comes out and scores the first touchdown. This price will go up, but if he just ends up with that first touchdown, I'm still going to spend $5 on him and try to get him on my team. Cedric Tillman, man, was on this last week. 47% rostered, $1 I spent on him. Only 2 receptions, but had 7 targets. That was the 2nd most tied with Jerry Jeudy for 22 yards and a touchdown. 17.1% target share. That's not great. 19% or better. I'm looking for 19% or better from like my flex options. 22% or better from my dominant wide receivers. But still, man, 17%, not terrible. Wide receiver 1, weeks 7 through 9 in 2024. Again, he was wide receiver 1 for 3 weeks last year. And Kevin Stefanski drafted this guy in the 3rd round a couple of years ago. I'm waiting for him to break out. But Jerry Jeudy's still there, and they're spreading the ball around like crazy over there. So home versus Green Bay next week. Terrible matchup. Green Bay might be the best defense in the league. There we go, man. Tight ends. Moving on to tight ends. Zach Ertz, dude. I've been telling you to pick him up. I told you to draft him. I was like, don't even worry about tight ends. Just draft Zach Ertz like in the last round. 50% roster. So again, any player 50% or below will be on this list. I spent $25, dude. So a quarter of my fab on Zach Ertz. 6 receptions on 8 targets for 34 yards and a touchdown. 20% target share from Jaden Daniels, man. He's averaging right now 7 targets and 13.5 fantasy points a game over the first 2 games of the season. That is amazing. Home versus Las Vegas week 3. Great matchup. Juwan Johnson, I had to watch this game. Whoop. I had to watch it, dude. I started, what's his name? Ricky Pearsall. Not good, but Juwan Johnson looked good. 48.2% roster, $25 I spent on him. 5 receptions on 9 targets for 49 yards and a touchdown. That touchdown was insane. It was just like the touchdown he caught the first week, but he did not drop it. So, hey, man, he's getting red zone targets. He's getting a 26.5% target share and 11 targets. This is like Brock Bowers' usage. I should have went with this guy instead of Harold Fannin. My God. So if I can still get Juwan Johnson, I'm spending some fab and start him next week at Seattle, which I love because the cornerbacks are good. Might funnel those targets to tight end. Harold Fannin Jr. just talked about him. 27.7% roster, $10 on him. 5 receptions on 5 targets for 48 yards. So full PPR, 9 points, almost 10 points. That's great. Only a 12.2% target share after a 22% target share week 1. So his stock took a huge hit. I love how he lines up all over the place. He's a 3rd-round rookie. He's Kevin Stefanski. His college production's off the chart. And he has a terrible matchup versus Green Bay week 3. But hey, I'm not starting him over Juwan Johnson next time, but he's still a start-worthy tight end. All right, man, quarterbacks. Daniel Jones. I went and spent money on him and got him, and with no plans to start him against Denver. And I checked it. It's like halfway through the second quarter. This fool was 7 for 12 with 139 yards, 4 rushes for -2 versus Denver. But those passing yards versus Denver, dude, insane. Top 5 quarterback week 1. Dude, Denver allowed like 62 passing yards last week. He already doubled that in like 1 quarter. At Tennessee week 3, I'm going to start starting Daniel Jones every single week. After this week, probably $20 I spent on him. He's the Sam Darnold of this year. Jake Browning. Okay, so what's his name? Fashion guy. Joe Burrow is out with a broken toe or foot or something. I forget what the hell just happened. But he's going to be out for a couple weeks, maybe. And Jake Browning, when he filled in before, was like a quarterback 9 or better. He had 2 quarterback 4 starts in 5 of 7 starts in 2023. And you saw what he did with Jamar Chase and Higgins today, dude. Jake Browning is an amazing backup quarterback. He is definitely starting worthy, and he's at Minnesota week 3, who was a pass funnel defense in 2024. So I love his matchup. $1 spent on him. Russell Wilson, man, that guy set a career high for 354 yards and 3 touchdowns. He didn't get 1 point for the rushes, but still. Only 10 fantasy points and no touchdowns week 1. Came out and did this week 2. I don't know what to believe, but home versus Kansas City, I'm going to take a flyer if I need a quarterback and put him on my bench. Hey, if I forgot somebody, please comment down below. And hey, if there are players in the Kansas City game or tonight's game or the Monday night game, I will be adding them on the comments. So pay attention to that. This is the earliest waiver wire show on the planet. So that's what you get with that. Okay. So hopefully I earned a thumbs up, man. That's what we need. It sends us out to more people. So if you just give us a thumbs up, it helps a lot. If you subscribe, it helps even more, man. Please. Anyways, hey, this is Tyler Big Turd Ward. This is the Fantasy Red Zone, and we appreciate you.